Ladies and gents, this is the most terrifying sounds of World War II by the channel Flying Dutchman. Now I don't know if I had reacted to this video before. I deleted lots of videos and I don't have backups of them, so I don't know if I reacted to this one or not, but I'm pretty sure I don't remember reacting to it, so this is going to be like a new experience. I've reacted to lots of terrifying sounds videos, so I don't know if it was this video or some other channels. So yeah, let's watch it. Panzerwaffe. Damn. Alright, what the hell? So I don't understand what strategic movement there was. So they know the certain enemies are in this certain ground, and they just sends that many vehicles with those rocket launchers on top. They just launch his rocket one after another, just flattening everything out. Is that what they do? Because that's just terrifying. How do anybody survives after that? One after another rocket, and there's sounds. It feels like these Germans basically create weapons with a specific note that makes sure it has some scary sound to it, because all of their weapon has some sound that just makes you piss your pants. Ah, V1 flying bomb, damn. Oh, I like the visual videos that he put here with that sound, because it gives the context of it. You're sitting at the distance and you see the distance there sounds like this coming, and some fast V1 bomber is coming. It's just ridiculous. And for anybody who doesn't know, V1 bomber was basically a pilotless cruise missile which had an odometer on it, which told it where the target is, and then it plummeted down with the a bomb in it, and it just exploded. Not too confusing with V2 bomb, which was even ridiculous. It was successor to this. So V2 bomb was basically a ballistic missile. So it had a hypersonic speed, which means it went so fast that even if it didn't have bomb, it would still explode immensely, because it was so fast that atomic structure of it would explode in sudden impact at so ferocity that even if it didn't have any bomb, just the missile being the shape it has, it would explode with massive damage. That's how the asteroids work basically. So if you go ridiculously fast and then come to a sudden stop, you explode, so you basically don't need any bomb on it. So that was V2. This is V1. So this is at the time was so advanced that didn't have any pilot on it, and it was basically really fast and just pilotless. So basically it's like people feared it, like it would just come in and just explode anywhere. So yeah, I think it was just launched at London. I don't know if it was launched somewhere else. So people at London have really bad nightmares about this. Some old people right now, even now in London, have memories of this. Oh no, MG42. How many things did Germans have at the World War II? They had too many weapons, man. Too many. V1 bombers, and then these MG42s. They were just ridiculously over-equipped at the time. MG42, even to this date, people think is one of the best machine gun ever made. It was so good. And people just basically walked up to it and they just hear that massive high caliber sound. 7.92 mm ammo. It had the German ammo of it. It wasn't using NATO yet. NATO was introduced later. So it had the 7.92 Mauser ammo, and it had this ridiculously high sound. Imagine you are in that warfare in trenches or something. It's all fine. Some firing is happening somewhere. Some grenades are exploding, sure. And then suddenly you hear that MG42 sound. Oh no, you're effed right there. What do? You can't proceed because you could be just mowed down like that because of MG42. They don't even have to aim much. They just have to blindly just shoot at your general area, and you'll basically be hit by at least one of the bullets. So that was MG42 was seriously terrifying. What the So Germans, like, we have that Panzer something thing that had rockets on top of it. Soviet is like, we are even better. This was basically the same thing that German had, but even more powerful. How many rockets they shoot one after another? It was ridiculous. How is anything left standing after that? This is why World War II was so terrifying, because World War I had this, surprise attacks, chemical attacks that people had no idea they would come. Sure. But World War II had lots of technological weapons that was just ridiculously overpowered. It's just stupid how people didn't just. It's just wonder that how Europe survived after all that. Because it should have been just, mostly should have been just mowed down after that. This is ridiculous level of weapons, man. Oh God, that tank sound. I remember when I was a kid, I used to play that old Call of Duties, like World at War, and before that Call of Duty 2, 3, things like that, World at War. Those were such a good games that I remember playing on my PC with headphones on at night. And just playing that, and suddenly they made the games and missions in such a way that everything had some heavy effect to it. Like, tank was not some joke. Whenever tank arrived, like, oh no. So I remember first time playing those games and just suddenly hearing in my headphones those tank sound, that belt sound, rattling, that engines pops and bangs the tanks do, and there's a screeching sound as the tank come in my headphone. I was like terrified. Even the mission was the way that just a small mistake and you die. Especially that game IGI. There was a game called IGI whose tanks were just terrifying. It was so hard to take down tanks in that, and whenever you see one, you just had nightmares, like, oh no. I remember some missions I was stuck at so much. I started to hate tanks at ridiculous levels. And this is just games, imagining that actually being in war in those horrible times where you feel like everything's just coming down, world is ending because of how things are going on, and you are just fighting. You are an infantryman, you are fighting with your squad, you are just having this warfare in small town or sittings, hiding in some kind of buildings, brick walls, behind brick wall, and you suddenly hear that chain sound rattling, and suddenly hear that tank sound. Is just it's a late night. It's just I imagine that and start to get shakes, like, oh my God, what would I have done if I were there? I'm so glad that I was born in 90s and I wasn't around in the World War II times. God, one after another. One after another. They had just ridiculous amount of scary weaponry back then. It's just that rumbling sound when they just come in hordes, those planes. You see at the distance, are those birds flocking here? And then you start to hear those rumbling sounds. It's like, oh no, where are we going to run? Is there some underground chamber somewhere? Because we are aft, those are bombers. And that's the most terrifying things about bombers. They always came in flock, tons and tons of them, with that rumbling sound. And that F1 racing car screeching type sounds whenever they took massive turns. It's just, I think those planes were powered by BMW engines. Oh God, this is terrifying. Artillery is scary, but most time it's your friend. It doesn't have that scary feel to it, because most time it's used to kill off whatever invading plane. So whenever a bomber is coming, if your artillery close, it's just like, oh, we are saved. Air raids. Now what the hell is this now? Okay, so these are different bombers than those other German bombers. I think those were suicide bomber type thing, the way they were flying, I think. But those were more scarier than this one. This just had this, oh no, the bombers are coming, their bombs fly down and you're aft. Sure, that is terrifying. But it didn't have the psychological warfare the most. Seriously, Nazi planes, weapons, jets, tanks, they were all so terrifying. It's just ridiculous. I think Hitler specifically told them, whatever weapons you make, whatever planes and whatever you make, it better have some kind of psychologically warfare elements to it, like some terrifying sounds or something like that, because all German Nazi weapon had some kind of terrifying sounds. This is ridiculous. I don't know if I reacted to this one before or not, but this was definitely a scary video. Alright, if you like my reaction, please don't forget to like and subscribe.